What's the dumbest thing a business rival did that completely backfired? I own a construction equipment dealership that specializes in heavy excavation gear. Back in 2005, business was incredible. I was one of the largest dealers in my region, moving machines by the truckload and making around 15% profit on new sales. The factory gave us the machines and all the attachments, buckets, couplers, hydraulic thumbs, but as dealers, we had to follow one strict rule. If the customer was financing the machine through the factory, we couldn't sell any non-factory accessories. That worked fine until the factory started cutting corners. The quality of their accessories dropped badly, and I started getting complaints. Buckets wore down fast, couplers leaked, and I knew I couldn't keep putting my name behind products that didn't hold up. Through a friend in the used equipment business, I found a manufacturer in China, producing better parts at a fraction of the cost. I flew out, toured their factory, tested their products, and was impressed. From that day on, I decided to use only aftermarket gear from that supplier. To stay compliant with the financing rules, I came up with a simple system. I'd sell the machines through the factory's zero-interest financing, but without attachments. Then the customer would purchase the accessories separately, either with cash or through a secondary lender. That way, everything stayed above board. It worked beautifully. I could sell a 24-inch bucket for $700 instead of $1,500, while still earning a healthy profit. My customers got better quality for less money, and word spread fast. Sales skyrocketed. But success always draws attention and jealousy. One day, I sold a machine deep into another dealer's area. The customer happened to be that dealer's next-door neighbor. The sale was legal. Territories weren't exclusive, but that dealer was furious. He asked his neighbor how I offered such a low price, and when he learned about the separate accessory payment, he twisted the story and accused me of illegally financing aftermarket gear through the factory. A few weeks later, I got a call that the factory was sending a team to review my files. What they actually sent were auditors who lived in my office for 2 months. They checked every sale, every invoice, every serial number. They went through nearly 10 years of records and called more than 150 customers. On top of that, I was suspended from using the factory's financing while the audit was ongoing. It was the worst timing imaginable. The investigation hit right during my busiest quarter. Sales froze, cash flow slowed, and my staff worked under constant stress. But after months of digging, the auditors found nothing wrong. Every sale was legitimate, every document was clean, and they finally cleared me. By then, the season was lost. My revenue dropped hard, and the whole ordeal nearly crippled my momentum. But I didn't forget who caused it. Fast forward to 2008, when the financial crisis hit. Construction slowed to a crawl. Dealers across the country began collapsing. My margins fell from 15% to around 5%, and I started selling accessories at near cost just to keep things moving. I cut staff, reduced expenses, and held steady. While others drowned in debt, I kept my doors open and stayed profitable. Other dealerships weren't so lucky. Many had flooring, factory-backed loans on their inventory set to expire. When that happened, they either had to pay the full balance or ship the machines back to the factory. Most couldn't afford either. That's when I made my move. I approached the factory and offered to buy out or resell equipment from struggling dealers. They agreed to cover shipping costs, and I helped them move machines that would have otherwise sat idle. Most dealers were grateful. I cleared their debts and saved their contracts, except one, the dealer who reported me years earlier. I refused to take even a single item from his inventory. He begged me to buy them, even offered me money to haul them off, but I declined every offer. Without flooring or buyers, he was stuck. Month after month, his debt grew until the factory finally terminated his contract. Within a year, his dealership closed for good. The building, land, and shop went up for sale. The factory offered me the chance to buy it all, but I passed. Another dealer bought it instead, and, out of pity, hired him as a manager. A few months later, they let him go after he failed to close a single deal. The man who once tried to ruin my career ended up watching everything his father built collapse around him. Meanwhile, my business not only survived the recession, it came out stronger, with a bigger territory and better supplier relationships than ever before. In the end, I didn't need to fight him directly. The market did it for me.